cunning trick. I hope it works. I assume this thing's gonna work.
Exposing for 3 decades is basically the hijacking of human perception. World government's controlled by a reptilian, non-human race. I've been saying that since the 90s.
I haven't seen the shapeshift. Have you?
I've seen eyes change from brown people to split people. When someone like me is questioning everything, mainstream society is going to see you as mad.
David Icke.
I'm delighted that there's so much laughter in the audience tonight.
But not you. They're not laughing with you.
All that ridicule is fantastic because it set me free of the prison that most people live in. Fear of what other people think. The truth, everything else.
They say that the human race is doomed, that we have lost touch. I disagree. I believe that humanity is full of hope, and that our salvation lies within each one of us. I seek out individuals that are changing the world, people who are living and thinking in a different way. Their stories will challenge your beliefs, make you question your choices, and perhaps inspire you to change. I never planned on doing any of this, but now I can't stop. Join me on this mission and make humanity something we can all be proud of. This week on the show, we have Mr. David Icke, who since the 1990s is known as a professional conspiracy theorist. He's written over 20 books, filmed over 10 DVDs, and regularly sells out arenas like Wembley for his 10-hour shows. And look, David is controversial. He thinks the royal family are a bunch of reptilian shapeshifters, and I can't agree with that or a lot of other things he says, but his basic message is very London real, and that is that we all need to wake the fuck up and stop taking this old vision of what we think is reality as the truth we've been taught since kids. Everything has been stacked against us, the education system, politics, to kick off our business accelerator, which will take you in 8 weeks from no idea to a business with real revenues. So check that out because the emails are coming soon. And now I leave you with the incredibly intelligent, but very smart Mr. David Icke. London Rio doesn't stop when they, because everything begins with thought, and then comes the action. The London Rio Academy is our global transformation platform, or learn to speak to inspire, or broadcast yourself with your very own podcast, or accelerate your life to become a high-performance person. We have the online accountability course and personal mentoring program that will make your dream a reality. Join us. Again and again and again. David, welcome to London. Before we get started, what is it like coming to London? And what does the city kind of represent to you, and what's the vibes when you get to it?
Well, I live on the Isle of Wight. See, I've lived on the Isle of Wight since 1982. So every time I come to London, so even the number of times I've been here and the years that I worked here, it's one of the great centers web of deceit. And in some, but in so many ways, America fires the gun. Web globally, which is fundamentally connected.
They're trying to stop it again.
To London. So I don't like what goes
They're
on.
very
With,
determined
the British
enemies of the people, aren't they? I don't know if you can pick this up at all. It's so
released. Or have since I was a kid. I've always questioned authority. I always feel that
in a really interesting way. I just wanted to ask you why you decided to go there. But you said that in madness, to a collective madness, looks like madness, but it's actually could be normality when that collective is actually mad themselves.
Well,
what's it like to look back on 30 years and see all this in perspective?
You know, known in your life is a crazy place. then to you, crazy is normal. And when someone comes from outside or has started to see it from inside and says, actually, this is a crazy place. Well, you are seen as crazy because you're not normal. You're not the normal that is actually madness that people have become used to. And this is the thing, living in the outback of Australia, your normal is never seeing, your normal is never not seeing vehicles. Passes someone in the outback, they say, "Oh, look, there's a car.
They
That's
keep
not
trying to
normal."
break the connection.
And then someone walks down
it.
an empty London street and they say,
Bastards.
"Oh dear, what's going on?"
Bloody
That's
bastards.
not normal. And normal
Enemies
is only
of the
what we
people.
normally experience. And thus, if we live in a crazy place, then that's what we normally experience. And this is how things are. Relevant to what's going on now, actually, this. Then you take the world to be as it is when you arrive. And therefore, when someone like me is questioning everything about the crazy place and seeing if it stands up to scrutiny, most of it doesn't, then of course, mainstream society is going to see you as mad. I take that as a compliment. It's one of the things I say in the book, to be called mad by idiots, as I put it, is a compliment. And I've been called mad by many idiots over the years, I can tell you. Many of them journalists, funnily enough. But it's just something you have to, when you're challenging normality, then that which has accepted normality to be the real world is going to see you as crazy. Can't be any other way. Thing is, though, and I found this over the last nearly 30 years, if what you say has validity and you keep saying it, it's nothing like completed yet, but it's moving that way, where world events are concentrating people's minds on the fact that the world isn't like they thought it was, and they don't like the way the world's going. They feel uneasy about it, and that has got people to, in greater numbers, to look at what I've written in the past, which is basically saying the world that we have now and we're going deeper into is the one that's been planned all along. It's the basis of what I've been trying to get across all these years. The world is not random. The world is moving in the direction it is because it's been planning to do that. This is why Aldous Huxley in Brave New World, 1932, and George Orwell, Eric Blair, as he was really called, with 1984, published in 1948. That's why they've been so incredibly accurate in predicting the way the world is going, because they weren't coming totally from their imagination. Because this plan for the global Orwellian state of total control, which is daily coming in. I mean, look around. It's not been planned for 5 years or 10 years. It's been planned for a long time.
What do you see when you see the world today, and what should we be focused on? What are the big things that you see as, okay, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening?
Well,
bloody head with that.
What I'm seeing is more and more people beginning to question what they've not questioned before. That is incredibly encouraging. And I've just finished the world speaking tour over the last 18 months. I've been all over the world. It's happening everywhere. And it's not just the numbers, it's the kind of people, what I would call system people. You'd never think would ever question the system, but they are. So, because in the end, this global conspiracy that I've been exposing for 3 decades is basically the hijacking of human perception. Because if there's a few of you, and compared with the target population of what, 7.5 billion, something like that now, the number of people in full knowledge of what they're doing is tiny.
Hundreds, thousands.
Thousands maximum. At the core, hundreds at the core. At the core of the core, even less. And the rest of the structure is fiercely compartmentalized. So people are daily different parts of this global web structure playing a part in pushing the world in the direction I'm talking about, to this centralized issue, without realizing that's what they're doing. It's a tiny, tiny number. So given the mathematics, you can't physically control your target population. Enough of it. Yes, through people in uniform, which is manipulating the target population to police the target population, but you can't do it en masse. What you need to do is control the perceptions of the population, because perception is everything. Perception dictates what you believe, what you don't believe, what you'll challenge, what you won't challenge, what you'll accept, you won't accept, support, won't accept, support, everything. Once they've got your perceptions, they've got you, and they've got your life, and they've got the collective perception. They have humanity. This is why they want to control the information that people receive, and to marginalize alternative ways of looking at the world. Because where do perceptions come from? They come from information received. Yeah. It might be a personal experience information, or it might be the 10 o'clock news. But with most people, it's going to be the 10 o'clock news. But it's information. So if you want people to have a certain perception of the world event, of who we are and the nature of reality, then control what people receive, and then you'll control their perception.
I'm going to switch it off.
So
when
I look at the world,
what's
I
heard,
see
it's very low on the audio file.
Who are perceptually programmed.
I'll try again later.
And when I'm in the book, people are great.
Right, I'll find it. It's my chat. There should be 1 or 2 people coming to see what's going on, and nobody has. And my audio is on one green dot. So I don't know if this is going out okay, or if the audio is picking up. It's just playing through my speakers on the floor. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to replay it back to myself. And if it does work, I'll try again later, and I'll do the whole thing in one go. But I want to know if it's working. I can't tell from this. So I'll see you in a moment. So about me, dressed in me bloody nightie again. When you live alone and you know you're only in for the jumpsuit, you don't bother. You don't bother anymore. That's all it is. End stream. Yes.